What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about staying the course. And this is our second blog of the new year, 2023. And we know that you guys have gotten going with some great goals and things. And so Dr. Bay came up with this amazing blog about staying the course. So I'll let everybody introduce themselves. I'm Dr. Janae Brown.
I'm Dr. Bay.
I'm Dr. Sandoval.
And I'm Dr. Daisuke.
And we're four fine clinicians at Physical Therapy San Pedro. So, Dr. Bay, you wrote this wonderful blog about staying the course in 2023. I'm assuming maybe because we struggled to stay the course in 2022 or 2021 or 2020. This year's the year, guys. It's the year. So, talk to us about what motivated you to write this blog.
Well, you and I had discussed that this is a typical time of year where people need a little pick-me-up.
Yep.
Because either patients are coming in because they have either already burned out or they've already hurt themselves for just hitting it too hard January 1st. But I really liked this topic because I have always prided myself on being very consistent because I'm just really obsessed with exercise and how it makes me feel, which is why I made it a profession and have kept up with my sport, which is dancing. So I would love for everyone to get all the benefits of exercise and meet all their goals.
Great, yeah. So you gave us 5 great things. I added in a 6th one.
You did.
Yeah, I just had to put the sauce on it. But so tell me the 6 things that you feel are really important for people to be able to stay the course with their goals.
Definitely. When you break it down, this is what we really want to kind of think about and see what you can update for your lifestyle. So number 1 is start slow. Number 2 is balance is necessary. And we'll talk more about what exactly that balance is. Staying motivated. Number 4, find something you enjoy. Number 5 is the community that can help you stay motivated. And 6 is don't give up when things get tough.
Yeah. So let's start with your first one. Start slow. So when we tell people that they have a goal, they're creating a goal for the year, a fitness goal, a nutrition goal, I guess any kind of goal. They have something they're doing new. What do we mean by start slow? Does anybody want to start? What do we mean? Anybody? Dr. Bay, you want to start it?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I brought up what we typically do when we work with our patients and we figure out their goals is we do what we call programming. So we take that big goal and we think, what are all the in-between goals we need to achieve it? And we build on slowly from there.
Yeah.
It's also fun to have those little goals because then once you achieve them, you think, oh, I'm very accomplished because that big goal can just feel like it's taking so long to get there.
Yeah, for sure. What happens when we see people, I guess it's not always they end up being our patients oftentimes. That's why we're talking about it. What happens when people don't start slow? What do we see happen with most people if they go into things too quickly?
It can start out with a very minor injury, potentially.
Yeah.
Or they obviously fall off. Like if they're doing too much too soon and, they can't stay consistent with it, they lose the drive and then it ends sometimes.
Yeah. Anything else? You have anything else? Anything else? Anybody?
No, I just want to reiterate what Dr. D said. Just if you do too much too quickly, injuries can occur, or you burn out too quickly because you're not used to that workload.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's just the huge one, yeah. People get injured when they do too much too quick. I think that's, for us, that's what we see so much of.
Yeah. That's why I think starting off small is obviously going to be a little bit easier in the sense that, if you can say, I don't know, what's the easiest thing is working out twice a week, right? Yeah. Ideally, we would want to increase the volume overall, but if we can start off by doing once or twice a week and then stay consistent with that for, say, January, then we can always see increase the volume the following month and so on and so forth so that you can start to get into, or I guess more like a routine. You start to create a behavioral change in that sense. So it starts to become more habitual, doesn't really become like a task, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just becomes your lifestyle after a certain point. So
yeah, it's hard for people to go into things slowly. Like I feel like for most people, if you were a runner and like let's just say you haven't ran in 6 months to a year, and say you used to run 5 miles, like, 3 or 4 times a week, it's hard for someone to go like, I'm not gonna go run 5 miles. I'm gonna go run like I'm just gonna run maybe like a couple laps or like maybe 3 laps or half a mile or maybe even a mile, right? Because the tolerance to a mile might be fine if they were a 5 mile runner, right? They just want to go right into five. And I think that, and then and then you're just like, I think it's something about our minds when we're like, if I don't go in all in, I won't stay in for some reason. Or so yeah, it is hard for people to just like slowly ease in. I think we're probably better at it, even though a lot of us, even I would say a lot of, I think it's a personality thing, but we're people, right? So even us, it's like we get injured too because we don't always practice what we preach. We try to. We're better than most, but yeah.
It's hard.
But it's hard, right? Yeah. It's hard to start slow, but you definitely will be better off for it. So start slow, ease into it, and you will probably stay the course because you won't get injured and you won't. Yeah, it'll be better for your body. Okay, number 2, balance is necessary. What do we mean, Dr. Bay, when we say balance is necessary?
What we mean is
What we mean is
don't only do one thing. As much as you may only want to do your sport or only walk or only strength train, that is not a very balanced program. And again, it's sure to help you burn out or get injuries or limit you from reaching your goals. So I like to typically break it up to 3 things. And you can think about this in many different ways, but I typically break it down for my patients in terms of we need to all participate in cardio, strength training, and some sort of flexibility, mobility work. There's a lot of ways you can go about that, but anytime I see someone skipping one of those groups of things, they typically don't feel their best and they don't reach their goals.
yeah.
So that's what I mean by balance.
Yep.
Mix it up. Variety.
Yep, variety. What happens if you're like a person? I keep saying running because I feel like I'm still stuck on Dr. Sandoval's last blog. So, but go read it. It's about running and how you can get started. So what if you don't? What if you're a runner and you don't like to strength train, or if you're a strong man or a weightlifter, Olympic weightlifter, and you don't like to run or do cardio or bike, or what do we tell those people?
You should probably do a little bit more of what you're not doing because that's going to significantly improve your performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, significantly. I've seen it with myself over the past couple of months where I started strength training a little bit more and I kind of eased back off of the running. When I got back into the running this past month, my mile time significantly improved and my effort, my level of exertion whenever I did my longer runs significantly improved too.
Yeah.
And that is, me taking a break for several months from running, and all I did was really strength training and some mobility work, and I felt so much better, right? So that is definitely something that.
You hit it all.
Yeah, I hit it all. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so
I
balance
thought she was
is
counting us
definitely-
off.
Yeah. No, balance is definitely something that we need, and we're not just talking like single leg balance. We're talking, a multitude of different systems that we need to tackle and work on.
Yeah. Why, Dr. D, do you think that Dr. Sandoval's like performance improved? Why by him strength training, like why would that make his running be better? Like why would he feel better running and like do better running?
Well, I guess this is some of the things that we do with clients and patients and stuff, but like gap analysis, right? Like what qualities are we missing in our training itself? So in his case, it might have just been force production, right? If we're not having the optimal amount of force production with our lower extremity when it comes to knee and hip dominant types of patterns, then that's going to also carry over into the running aspect too. So if we have more force production with each step that we take, that means our running is going to become more efficient as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I think in the sense that for, say, long distance runners, I still have them do short distance sprints.
Yeah.
Because that means in that, say if it's like a 100 to 200 meter dash or something like that, or sprints, that means when we're going into our mile runs, 2-mile runs, 3-mile runs, with that 100 meters, say at the very beginning of the run or the very end of the run, we're going to be a lot more efficient during that period too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Anybody else have any thoughts? Yeah. I think did you want to say something?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm good.
I think what we don't think of is like the body moves through. So like, for example, your knee, it's a hinge joint, right? Your quad, all your muscles are active if you're a runner. Like you like to run and they're active in that, but your body needs to move in the ways that it doesn't get to move in running, right? You need to be able to like move your knee as a hinge joint and your hip, as a rotational joint, your ankles, and like all of our joints are so dynamic and different. And if we're not really taking the time to move in different ways outside of running, then the health of your joints won't be good for running. So you're just like doing the same thing over and over again. And we're using running right now, but it could be vice versa. Like, whatever sport you play, for us, it's a lot of our patients are athletes that play sports, team sports, and they just repetitively play that sport and they don't do any strength movements and stuff. So, but I think that people don't think about that either. Like your joints need to move for longevity, for health. And then when you do it, the plus is you are better, you perform better because of the reason you said, like your force production and a lot of different things. Like, for example, somebody who's an Olympic weightlifter or a strongman, doing some plyometrics and some running things and like that, that's going to help them it's just their sport is not, they have to be able to develop power and other things. So just training strength all the time is not going to help them be a great performer. So it goes by both ways. But I would say in terms of, one thing that I would emphasize is the health of your body, the health of your joints, the longevity of your sport. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then it doesn't have to be obviously at the same degree, right? So
Right.
soccer players' plyometrics are going to be very different from, say, a power lifter or Olympic lifter's
Yeah.
plyometrics. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but we just need the stimulus of that particular movement, and obviously the force velocity curve starts to play a part. But it's just we need to make sure that they're adapted to that type of stimulus so that they can obviously avoid any type of injury in the future.
Yep. Okay. Number 3, stay motivated. Ugh, this is the hardest one. This is why we're talking about this right now, because we know you guys are struggling right now. We're like in the middle of February and you were hitting your goals hard and you might be lacking some motivation. So talk to us about what about staying motivated?
Well, I think you have to find what drives you, and you have to keep returning back to that. So for me in my dance practices, it's a feeling I get when my body connects to the music and I perform whatever it may be, my Grand Allegro really well. That's so much fun. I feel great off those endorphins. I'm happy. That brings me back every time. So what do you guys, what motivates you all? Give our fans some ideas.
Dr. Sandoval, what motivates you?
Oh man, for me it's a little bit of what you just said, but I also like to have a chip on my shoulder.
Oh,
Right?
interesting.
And it's like it's very much, it's not based in any sort of reality. It's more so like a self-talk that I give myself. And I kind of I use music to help me too with this, and I kind of place the whole world against me, and I make it seem as if everyone's out to get me or something. And then that helps drive me to get my goals.
Give us some self-talk. What would you say to yourself?
Oh,
Are we scared?
It's not. Yeah, no, it's probably not something. I should say. Yeah, no. It's more of a feeling. It's,
Okay.
it's not necessarily like a specific phrase or word. It's more of just like a general feeling of, everyone's out to get me, or
Yeah.
I've been told I can't do this or
Yeah.
that or something along those lines,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
push to
Yeah.
make it happen.
So
Yeah.
competition.
Yeah, the competition is good for you.
Oh yeah.
Having
Competition is
keeps you
driving you.
motivated.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
competition.
absolutely. Yeah.
I feel like self-talk is I just did a post on that, self-talk. It's we expect everybody else to motivate us, to keep us going. And if you struggle with motivation, we're going to talk about that later, but if you struggle with it, you need to find ways to stay motivated, right? Whether it's in a group or working out with a friend or whatever that is. But really, you're the only one who can get you there. You're the only one who can, stick with it. And, nobody else cares but you. That's the reality. This is your body. These are your goals. You
Show
want
up
to
for
achieve
you.
them. You want to show up for yourself. So it's just, That's one huge reason, right, to stay motivated. Stay motivating or to stay motivated, but keep talking to yourself and giving yourself positive thoughts. Yeah. How about you?
I think
motivates you?
for me, well, part of it is like when you're trying to get into an event or trying to compete in an event, that obviously motivates a lot of people. But I think for me personally, I would say I want to stay the same athlete or a better athlete than who I was in my 20s. That's probably the thing that motivates me the most.
Okay.
That's why I stay consistent with my training when it comes to lifting and staying consistent with my sprinting and all my athletic work and stuff. So when I'm training some of my clients or my patients, I want to be able to still demonstrate it myself and ideally do it better than they can.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear
really
that? Come in and he promises he'll be better than you.
I didn't promise that. I'm trying
He's gonna
to be.
try though. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Anything else on staying motivated?
Well, just I think another big one is the goals you set.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Working back to that, I know personally my husband, he has records he's trying to hit in terms of his weightlifting, and that's what takes him back. So
Right.
there's lots of different ideas. Take from all of us, but really think about what is going to drive you to keep going.
I think one of the key things to think about with this too, though, is you do want to start off slow. Like going back to that first point, it does become a lot harder to stay motivated if you start off too quickly with everything. So like these aren't points that are just individual points. They all weave in and connect together.
Yeah. The key is figure out a way to stay motivated. Figure out what motivates you. Is it self-talk? Is it competition? Is it your own personal goals and your desire to be better than everybody else or just as good as everybody else or a better athlete? Figure out what motivates you so that you can keep doing it. Yeah. So you can stay the course. Okay. Number 4, find something you enjoy.
Yes. So, like I've said over and over again, I love dancing, so I keep doing it. But what I don't really enjoy is strength training. But I do it because I know better. I tried to avoid it as long as I could. But I found a class that I enjoy, so now I do it. Yeah. So that's the key, right?
Yep.
Is it fun music? Is it good people?
That's true.
What's going to help you enjoy it? Find something that you think is fun, right?
Yeah, that's true. If you don't enjoy it, you're not very likely to stick with it, right? If you don't enjoy it. If your friend loves to kickbox, but you hate kickboxing, the likelihood that you're going to keep coming is not very high, right? So you have to find something you really enjoy doing. Yeah. Anybody else? That's a pretty straightforward one, but any thoughts on that? Okay, let's move on. Next one, community.
Community. If you find a group of people you enjoy doing something with, you're more likely to keep doing it, right?
That's true.
You go back for those connections. You're doing it together. You pick each other up. You struggle together.
Yeah. And I think too, we're all a little different on when we think about community, we're all a little different on what that means. For me personally, my workout time is my personal time. It's the time for me that I get to have no one else but me being with me. I'm always doing things with other people. It's always about everybody else. So for me, I enjoy working out by myself. I really want to, but that doesn't mean that I can't go to a place where they do the same things I do, right? So if you like to weightlift or whatever, everybody else likes to do that too. So I'm in my own, wavelength and on my own journey, but I'm around other people that are doing the same thing. So I think it doesn't have to just be that you have to find a class. If you're somebody who needs the class to keep you motivated and to keep you going, that's important. But maybe you need to find a place.
A setting.
A setting.
The proper setting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think surrounding yourself with the same type or with the people that have the same type of mentality, I think helps a lot. Because, that's one of the reasons that drew me here in the first place was everybody liked to do strength training and valued strength training and the athleticism and stuff like that. So that was one of the biggest reasons why I came here in the first place to work. So
that's a good reason. We're all trying to practice what we preach. Yeah. Sometimes it's just me, Dr. D, and Dr. Sandoval in here. But
Yeah, there's some people missing
I'm just messing with her.
occasionally.
That's
I'm
right.
usually never here, actually.
She thinks
but
I don't work out.
she does. She does come early in the mornings and she works out. She's got lots of kids and
Yes.
okay, so all right. 6. This is don't give up when things get tough. Yeah. So I put this one in. Yeah, I feel like we give up when things get tough. It gets hard. We get tired. Life gets crazy. And I think what happens is that people stop. They get out of the mode of like whatever goal it is. So maybe they start going to a certain gym. They're going every day, and then they can't go for a couple days, and they're like, oh, I missed it. And then I just, and then they're like, I'll go next week. And then it just gets further and further away. Or, I think the thing about it is we need to give ourselves grace. And I love that word, grace. But we need to give ourselves grace and know that things are not going to, it's about progression, not perfection. We need to just keep trying and keep pushing forward. And there's going to be a week where you eat like crap, and you have a bad week. But that's okay. That doesn't mean next week you can't come back from that. So my thing with it is don't give up when things get tough. Your life gets tough. Life is crazy. Life is hard. Don't give up. Keep trying to hit that goal and go back to it. Give yourself grace. Yeah. Anybody else have any personal experiences with things getting tough or want to share about not giving up when things get tough? Anybody given up on something already this year?
Eating salads. I gave up. Sorry. Yeah.
Was it Erica that made you?
No.
Okay.
She just looks upset. So. Just couldn't do it.
She probably is upset.
I don't like vegetables, and I tried to do it from the beginning of the year, and I think relatively I stayed consistent for the first month. And at this point, I'm like, no. So
You're
I
done.
switched it over to smoothies. So I'm still eating it.
Oh, there you go. I was
I'm
like,
just,
but did
I'm
you
just
start
drinking
slow?
it now.
You found something else. You found another way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Find another way.
Yeah. Still ingesting it, just not in the form of a salad anymore.
Yeah.
In a way that you enjoy.
Yes.
In a way. It all circles back.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, what I wanted to say is I hear a lot of people saying, right, oh, I'm not going to start working until said date.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you could just start now.
Yeah.
Why put it off, right? Yeah. Why? I mean, so what? You missed a few days. Who cares? Keep going.
Yeah.
Some is better than none, right?
Yeah.
We'll never get there if we keep making excuses to push back. So.
And I think that goes back to perfection because, we don't want to do it until we think we have to give up everything. Okay, I'm going to start on Monday because this week I want to still be able to eat cookies or cake or whatever it is, right? I don't want, Monday I'm going to change. But really, Monday you're not going to change, right? You're just going to have to get a little bit better at not doing that thing that you want to do that's not good for you, right? So you just have to go and be and just every day it's just how can I do it good? How good can I be today? Say I'm gonna do the best I can today, and that's all I can do. Yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, any other thoughts on staying the course? Did we miss anything, boys?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we're
I
good.
think we're
Okay.
good.
All right, guys. So stay the course in 2023. We want you guys to be successful. We're here for you. If you don't, we're here to help you get, your rehab in. If you don't stay the course, you're going to get injured. And, if you do things wrong, we got you. But we want to help you. That's what we're here for, to help you.
But also, if you need help trying to make a program that is balanced and progressing at the appropriate pace, we're here for you.
We do that too. Yeah.
We would love to help you. So
Good point, Dr. Bay. So yes, we got you on that too. So if you need help with your programming, if you need help with an injury, reach out. We got you. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Our podcast will be up soon on all digital platforms. So look out for that. I think or follow us on our website, physicaltherapysanpedro.com, where you can see all of our blogs written there as well. And I think that's it. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.